Good morning. My name is Rachel and I am the Thrifty Crocheter, and today is Saturday, August the 2nd. 365 days of kindness. Be kind every day. Excuse me. The title of this is Help, Please. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's goods and sees a brother or sister in need and yet refuses to help? 1 John 3:17. You only need to take a look around your home to know how blessed you are. Being able to have breakfast, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and get into some nice clothes for the day are simply a few of many things you can do that others cannot. You don't need to feel guilty about the things that you have, but be grateful for them. Be thankful that even though your car isn't the most impressive vehicle on the road, you have something to take you from point A to point B. Be thankful that even though your bathroom is a bit dated, you still have some hot water to wash yourself with. Every time you think of complaining, remember that there are people who have next to nothing. Think of how much God loves them and wants their needs to be cared for as well. Put that love into action. Act of kindness. Donate blankets to your local homeless shelter. There is so much to be said in this one. Yes, I mean, you shouldn't. Excuse me, I got the burps all of a sudden. Complain about all the stuff that you have. It could be this or it could be that. It could be this. It could be nicer. That could be nicer. Because there are so many people out there who are less fortunate than you. They might. To them, the stuff that you have is too rich for them. It's too financially rich for them. Just think of it that way. There are so many people out there. Years ago, when I was a kid, my dad used to help run a mission here in town. And it was, we had three buildings. One building had like our apartment and the offices that ran the inner city mission. Then we had a building next door, which was the men's dorm. And then behind our house, there was an alley. And then across the alley was the women's dorm. And for the women and children. And we did a lot of things for them. We helped them. We helped get medications. And however, no. My dog is in here and he got hold of my yarn. And he knows better. Don't mess with my yarn. There's so much to be said. We helped get jobs, and we helped women and children that were in battered situations, and we give everybody different classes, whether it was like Bible class, like they had to go to church. We had people to make sure they went to church, and we would have Bible studies for them. We would have classes to help get them better into society and get them jobs and get them homes. There are just people out there who are less fortunate than you are, and sometimes you just take the stuff that you have for granted, and don't ever do that. Don't take your family and your things that you have for granted, especially my senior year of high school. It was close to graduation, and our house caught on fire. We were at a concert. I was in high school. We were in choir, and we had a concert that night, and lightning hit our house and caught our house on fire. And so we had to stay in a hotel for a few days, and that was able to find us another house. And luckily, we were able to save a lot of stuff. We had to throw away a lot of stuff and just start all over. And if you And if you've ever had to start all over, that's a huge, huge deal. And I'm not talking about just moving from one house to another. I'm talking about you lose everything, or you lose like half of your stuff because of a fire, and you have to start all over. That's a huge ordeal. If you've known anybody who's had to do that, you know what that's like. So just be thankful for what you have. That's all I have to say on that. All right. Daily guidepost for grandmothers. August the 2nd. The light that shines through the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John 1:5. The lure of the Blue Ridge Mountain breezes was just too tempting. So instead of heading for bed at midnight approached, I let myself out onto the long gray deck and sank into a plastic Adirondack chair. Slowly my eye adjusted to the stars. Stars above me became clearer and clearer. For often hazy August, the sky was unusually dark and the stars unusually bright. I just cannot talk today. I apologize. I sighed in pure pleasure. After years of living in dense Maryland woods, the open sky here in Virginia is a new joy for me. Like a child discovering the stars for the first time, I began to play with ideas. Gee, what if all that is really a good, great black velvet drape and the stars are pinholes where heaven shines through? I like that idea. I'm going to read that again. Gee, what if all that is really a great black velvet drape and the stars are pinholes where heaven shines through? That is a pretty cool idea. It's a pretty cool concept. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I became aware of a flickering. Somewhere beyond the black mound of Massanutten Mountain. It's Massanutten. If I must pronounce that, I apologize. Was a thunderstorm. I watched the flashes and flickers silhouetting the ridge for quite a while, but heard no thunder. Strange. I watched the TV forecast at 11 o'clock, and there was no storms. Curious, I crossed the deck, entered my office, and called up the Virginia weather radar on my computer. There was only one storm anywhere in a 3-state area. A large red-orange blob covering Cape Charles, the point where Chesapeake Bay meets the sea at Hampton Roads, a 5-hour drive away from us. The night was so clear that the darkness could not hold back the lightning. It bridged the ridges and lit up my deck 170 miles away. Wow. As I called Bill to come see the silent display, I thought of how many times the Lord's light had bridged the dark valleys in my life to bring His peace and His presence. Watching lightning moving out to sea beyond 2 mountain ranges, the long Piedmont, 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 and the Tidewater, I knew I was seeing a parable in action. Darkness cannot extinguish light. Lord, bring your light over the ridges and into the valleys of my life. Roberta Rogers. Oh my goodness. I'm going to tell the birth all of a sudden. Excuse me. The illustrated words of Jesus for women. August the 2nd. Careless words. I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. Matthew 12:36. Careless words. Are they really a big deal? Yes, they are. Jesus says that one day you will answer for those words. Maybe you like to make your friends laugh at your humorous comments. You'll answer for those words. Maybe you're critical of others. You'll answer for those too. Maybe you have a quick temper that sends words flying out of your mouth before you think. You say all kinds of things every day. And now these next two sentences I highlighted. Think before you speak. Consider whether your humor is harming someone or if your criticism or temper is hurtful. Watch your words because everyone counts. And I have added the verse James chapter 3, verses 1 through 12. It talks about taming of the tongue. Go read that. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. James 3, 7 through 8. You know what? Oh, I don't have my Bible in here. I put the Bible away. I was going to read that, but I forgot I put my Bible away. Everybody, just, yes, watch what you say and how you say it. Listen to yourself talk sometimes, because how you say it and how somebody else heard it said could be two completely different tones, two different ways. How you meant it to sound like and how somebody else heard it said are different. So not only be careful on what you say, but how you say it and who you say it to. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm just giving advice. So with that, I know that says part 2 on here, but I'm not going to work. I just haven't worn this shirt in a while, and I really like this shirt. I like this part of it. You can see they don't look back. Okay. Don't look back. Body, spirit, community. You aren't going that way. And we'll go ahead and read from James. James chapter 3. Not many of you should presume to be teachers, my brothers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. We all stumble many ways. If anyone is never at fault in what he says, he is a perfect man, able to keep his whole body in check. When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person, sets the whole course of his life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and creatures of the sea are being tamed and have been tamed by man. But no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With the tongue, we praise our Lord and Father, and with it, we curse men who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. So, be careful what you say and how you say it and who you say it to. Body, mind, spirit, community. You aren't going that way. Don't look back. You aren't going that way. All right. Y'all have a good day now. Love y'all. Bye.